Hi, this is All Things Nerdy back again with another video on what if Doctor Strange turns evil. Today we are here to talk about the mystery that is surrounding Obeng, who is actually Cagliostro himself. What if Obeng was actually different from the one in the Earth 616 comic universe? The 616 version of his character was chasing an immortality elixir, while it seems that the What If version of Obeng refused being immortal and died of an old age right after Evil Strange completed his quest to devour all monsters. Obeng's comic counterpart took on many names on his quest to immortality, such as Eltutus and Cagliostro. He was the sorcerer that stole the Darkhold from Dracula in the 1550s. Obeng also crossed paths with Doctor Doom while he was time-traveling and taught him the mystic arts. On one occasion, he was impersonated by another time-traveling sorcerer named Sisnic while he was away in search of a vampire cure for his wife, Lorenza. However, Sisnic left for the beginning of time. After returning, Obeng took reference of the Darkhold and Sisnic notes and created a book of Cagliostro. We presume that the What If version of Obeng still went through those journeys but ended up foregoing the idea of immortality.
I chose to live.
What could have changed his mind? He ended up failing to cure his wife Lorenza and was forced to stake her. This could be his nexus event that branched him away from his comic counterpart. He never continued his quest of immortality and never left his fortress. The reason why he never left to continue his quest was the arrival of Doctor Strange in his timeline. Obeng was constantly being reminded by Doctor Strange of his dead vampire wife. He knew that there was slight chance that he could revive his dead wife, but it would only bring her back as a mindless vampire, similar to the Husky sect. He could not move on from the point of his life, and that is where he decided to stop chasing immortality and end his life.
But I can reverse this. You will live longer, forever.
Hush. Even in our world, death is part of the plan.
This episode of What If not only explored an unseen character Obeng and also set up the stage for his future reappearance in main MCU timeline during his encounter with Doctor Doom or even the upcoming Blade movie, where his current lover in Earth 616 is a voodoo queen who seeks vampire blood for immortality, much like Obeng himself. I will be thrilled with the reappearance of Obeng or Cagliostro, and it will allow us to dive in deeper to the lore of vampires in MCU. With that being said, I've come to the end of this episode of Marvel Explained. You can check out my whole playlist of Marvel Explained here, and remember to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Thank you guys again and see you next time.